Hello there and welcome to the Bicycle Diaries. Here we are, it's early December and here in the UK it's starting to get a little bit chilly. So as I speak right now it's about -2 degrees Celsius outside, and obviously that's going to make actually getting out on the road a little bit challenging. Now if you're watching last week you'll know that I had a conversation with my friend Gary Palmer, who's a very experienced fitness coach, and he was suggesting that I up my weekly hours by about 10 to 15%. Now I'm currently riding between 3 and 7 hours, and to increase it by 10 to 15% means putting about another half an hour on my weekly totals. And yes, the cold is going to make that slightly challenging, but I will have to do my utmost to try and achieve that. Again, just to recap, the events that I've got planned for next year are the Isle of Wight Randonnée, which usually takes place the first weekend in May, and then hopefully the London Prudential 100 in August. Now I was signed up to ride both of these events this year, but obviously COVID got in the way and they were cancelled. But hopefully next year they'll all be going ahead and I'll be able to ride them. In addition, I do have some plans to do something else next year, and if it happens it will be pretty exciting, but for the moment I'm just going to play my cards a little bit close to my chest, as I do have to do quite a lot of work before it can happen. So stay tuned, you never know, there might be something a bit more exciting happening later in the year. Ride-wise, it's not actually been too bad this week. I've managed to go out and do 5 rides. The first 2 were Tuesday, Wednesday, doing a couple of local little routes around here, so 30 kilometres or so, and they were actually quite fun. I really enjoyed those. And then on Thursday, Friday, I was back on the Turbo Trainer. On Thursday I did the Paris course, so up and down the Champs-Élysées there. And then on Friday I took on the Innsbruck climb and tried to make as much use of my smart turbo trainer as I could. Now I certainly felt the gradient as I was cycling up there. The gradients were like 7-8% at times, and I must have the difficulty set fairly easy, because I know if I'm cycling in real life and I'm going up a 7-8% gradient, I'm in my absolute lowest gear with a cadence of about 70 revs. And on Friday I was riding up the gradients there, still in the big ring, with a cadence of about 80. And then on Sunday I met up with one of my oldest cycling chums, a chap called Des, and we did 50 kilometres around the Hampshire lanes. Now Des knows the roads to the north of us far better than I do, and we were riding out on some roads that I haven't ridden for about 6 years now, and actually the last time I did it was with Des, so that was all great fun. But we did get a little bit cold, particularly when we sat and had our tea stop in Bishop's Waltham. We were starting to shiver a bit, and we're jolly glad to get back on the road and start climbing again so we could warm up a bit. Obviously, with the weather getting colder, more and more people are turning to their turbo trainers and indoor workouts to get the miles in. Now, if you've been watching the channel over the last couple of weeks, you'll know that I've been working with another friend of mine, somebody called Chris, who's a very, very experienced fitness instructor, to put together some turbo trainer workouts for the channel. Well, since then, Chris and I have been chatting, and she's been very, very busy putting together some workouts that she's hosting on her new YouTube channel. So I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Please go over there, have a look, and consider subscribing, because she's got some fantastic workouts on there. And if you follow them and do them maybe 2 or 3 times a week, you will definitely improve your strength and improve your fitness in time for next year's cycling season. And unlike some other internet-based cycling platform which will remain nameless, Chris's workouts are completely free, and she certainly knows what she's talking about. Chris will still be appearing on my channel from time to time, but that will be in the form of some live stream workouts. Now the plan at the moment is that we're going to have these live stream workouts in the new year sometime, and it'll be a little bit like the Zwift session. So you'll tune in at a particular time on a particular evening. We'll all do the workouts together, and you can even ask Chris some questions as we're doing them. So that should be great fun. So the numbers for this week are: I've cycled 145 kilometres, I've got 6 hours and 44 minutes of seat time, and I've climbed 1,509 metres. And that brings the year's total to 6,192 kilometres ridden. I've got 266 hours of seat time, and I've climbed 61,404 metres. And if we go over to Strava, we can see that on Tuesday my fitness score was 47, on Wednesday it was 45, on Thursday it was 46, Friday it was 48, and then on Sunday it was 50. Although the weather's set to warm up a little bit next week, it's also forecasting some rain, so obviously that's not going to be great for actually getting out on the road. I still want to do my 150 kilometres or so, but with the weather being so wet and windy, I may just have to resort to my seat time totals of between 3 hours and 7 hours, and I'll probably end up doing most of that on the Turbo Trainer. And finally, another massive thank you to somebody called Wazat, who's supporting the channel via the Patreon page. And again, if you're enjoying the channel and you'd like to support the channel, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Thanks for watching.